So let's jump in. We got the ISO boom.
Yes. All right.
Hold
So,
up. I didn't do my explosion. Where's my explosion?
all right. So, Genesis chapter 32, we start off with Jacob. He's on his way back to his home. On his way, the angels of God meet him, and he realizes that, or he says that this place is God's camp, and he names the place Mahanaim, which means two camps or two hosts.
Right.
We had a discussion about what that could mean more in depth in the last episode, so go back if you want more details on that. Jacob sends some messengers ahead of him to meet with Esau in the land of Seir, and those messengers come back and they let Jacob know that, oh, your brother's coming, and he's coming with 400 men. And so obviously Jacob is shaken up a little, and so he splits up his camp into two different camps, so that if Esau comes and attacks one camp, the other one could escape. So he's thinking ahead as always. Like, Jacob is pretty smart. We talk about how he's always like a couple steps ahead in his thoughts. He then also prays, we can call it praise to God, and just says like, thank you for all the things that you've done, but also you told me to leave and come back, so I need you to help me. So he comes humbly, but he also reminds God of the promises that he's made to him. And then Jacob sends gifts to his brother Esau. He sends a bunch of animals, and he sends them in groups. I believe there were 6 groups or 5 groups, but he sends a bunch of groups. He sends them one at a time. He instructs them to, when you get to Esau, say these things. And then the next group go, like, y'all just keep going till it pretty much gets to me. So he's sending them, they called it droves. And then he sends his wives, the servants, and his sons across, and he's left alone. While he's alone, man starts to wrestle with. Initially you're like, what, how do we get here?
Right.
And then we realize who is wrestling with him, because as they're fighting, the man realizes that Jacob is not really giving up, so he touches his hip socket and puts it out of place.
Yep.
And Jacob ends up with the limp that Jacob is holding on, like, I'm not letting go until you bless me. Right. The man changes his name from Jacob to Israel.
Yep. And
blesses him, saying, like, you've striven with God, and this is your blessing from that. And then Jacob is like, what's your name? And then the guy's like, you don't need to know my name, like, don't worry about it. But we do find out that he names the place Peniel, and it says, because I have seen God face to face and my life is preserved. So from that we assume that the person he's fighting with is God. And so then it ends with them telling us that Jacob has a limp, and that the people of Israel don't eat the sinew of the hip of animals because of that whole interaction.
Yep.